Welcome to a new episode. In this episode I'm going to be doing little tiny jobs. I don't know how much I'm going to get done, but it's probably going to be about 15 minutes long. But my first job is to flat and polish this cross member. Now, I got all up in here, all shiny. Can't really see that bloody light's burning my eyes out. But all the inside's painted. We got it nice and shiny. Obviously there's the stone chip. And it's okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start flattening this. I'll put you on time lapse and you can watch me do it. So I've got some stuff for polishing. I've got my polisher. So I've got these Trizacks. So this is how I'm going to work it. So I've got, start off onto 1200s, go on to 15s, go on to 3s, go on to 6, go on to 8, and then buff it up. I couldn't find, I usually use 3M, but I couldn't find any. These are what I've borrowed from work. So it's a bit of a degreaser to degrease your compound off. Compound it, and then I'm going to degrease it, and it just cleans off the residue that leaves, ready to use the machine polish. Got a couple of rags, and I've got a couple of polish heads which are 3M. Like I said, I were going to be using the 3M ones, but I couldn't find the 3M polish. And also I'm going to be putting that on as well. I've covered it up, and then nobody can clone my car like they really want to. But yeah, I'm going to put that on. I've got myself some rivets. I've got my rivet gun, or tool, whatever you want to call it, riveter. So I'm going to put you on time lapse. Right, so that's 12s, 15s, 3s, 6 and 8s. You can still see there's quite lumpy these. So it's not going to look perfect. You can see bits of dirt in it. So that, to me, it'd be alright with that. You know, there's a bit of carpet that goes over here. There's going to be some bungs in there. So I'm quite happy with that. I'll just do the other side now, and we'll get on with it. I've started to do some unmasking as well. Unmasking those. I've got unmasking in there. I've unmasked those. And all this front bit's done. So I'm going to get on with the other side and then start polishing. Not sure how well you're going to be able to see this in the camera, but it doesn't look too bad. It's nice and shiny now. There are the big bits of big lumps, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's not going to get any better than that. It's going to get absolutely filthy in there, so you know there's no point. I'll have to concentrate when I'm painting the outside panels a little bit more and make sure everything's perfect. You know, this is just the inside of the car where the seats are going to cover it up. But in all honesty, that looks nice now. It's not full of shit, as we call it. You know, they're still there. There were some big ones, I'm not going to lie to you. So let's get this side polished up. Right, we're going to have a revamp of this masking now, because obviously I've polished all that up. Don't know what you can see on camera, but I'd say we're about 80%. 80%, I'm happy with that. It's going to be covered up 99.9% of the time. So I'm going to take all the masking off now, and then I'm going to remask it for high build now. So I'm starting on this back panel. So that terrible panel repair I made on that, I've got to sort that out. That side's really nice, and I've got a dent there, if you remember. so I've got to get it all unmasked and remasked for high build. So I'm not going to time lapse it or anything, so I'll bring you back in when I've done it. Right, all the cars unmasked, so I'll just take you a walk around. I've got that in place. I can't rivet it in because I've had to widen the holes for my rivets, so I need to get some touch up to touch up that to touch up the bare metal. But look at that, first thing that's nearly back on the car. I've taped it up, and then I don't reveal my my car number. I think that's a thing. Right, so if we walk back here, obviously floor's done. Hopefully you'll be able to see in here, it's a bit dark. Right, so that's going to be on there next week. And the car down inside there. Just damaged my paintwork, metal on it. In the boot, down in there, plenty of paint down in there. It's time to get on with some of these repairs. And even though you can't see that dash rail, the back seat, the stone Burt or something like that. So what I've just done, I've just got all the panels on the car, and I've just gone round and black penned all the repairs that I've got to do on it, and then I'm going to mask the car up and get it ready for start working on the back panel. So let me show you. So as you can see, I've got the bonnet back on. It still needs tinkering about. I think I've got it too far up in that back thing, because it's a little bit close here, and then it's nice across there, and then a bit tight there. So looking at the door there, obviously you knew that I'd dented it there, and the door's bowed in at the bottom. I need to find the catch to get that door sitting in properly, but that door don't fit right well. I don't remember it being like that before. I might just take the shim off the front door and turn the shim around. For some reason, when I get the shims the wrong way around, it fits nice, and then sometimes it doesn't fit. So I've got that damage repair that goes across there. I've got the repair there, and I've got a repair there. The boot lid's not been on. I've never put that boot lid on this car. So that's a heritage boot lid. That's never been on this car. Roof. So there's scratches there. There's where I dropped a hammer from the inside when I was doing the new floor. So when I was doing the floor repairs, I dropped the hammer out of my hand and it cracked onto the I don't think there's any more damage on this roof at this side. I've got that to repair, and obviously I'm going to be painting it black, but you know, at the moment it's in a bit of a state. It just needs rubbing down and painting. Some of it will be doing with black hammerite, but on the top I'll try and make it nice and shiny. I just need to move the car over and then we can look at the other side. Right, so the car's over, we're back here. So obviously I've told you about those. Repair there, that'll need sorting out. That's pretty bad, is that, because the line's here and yet I've got a line here, so That's going to be a bit of a filler job there. It's probably my fault not lining up the panel good enough. But there you go. You know, I'm not perfect. So I've got that repair down there. There were the old. There's where the old holes were for the wheel arches, and a couple of dents there. And then I've got a dent on the door there, and there. And down in the bottom, I need to see. I don't know whether I can pull that door out. The rest of so on the roof we've got a small dent there. We've got a small crease there, and we've got a small crease there. Other than that, the roof's nice. We don't have any more dents that I can see. No. So what I need to do is I'm going to sheet the car up, and then when I'm working on the quarters and the wheel arches, I've got the holes to cut ready to put the riv nuts in. But I'm not going to put the riv nuts in, I don't think, until I paint it. So I'll drill the holes, get the riv nuts ready to go in, and then paint the car before I put the riv nuts in last. So that's just a quick update about what I'm doing. So you know exactly what I'm doing. I've shown you the dents. I've shown you what I'm going to do with the wheel arches. I've still got to prime those, so they'll need plastic priming and high building. And then when I'm high building the quarter panels, I'll put the wheel arch on and I'll drill it and get it ready for the riv nuts. But I won't be putting the riv nuts in until I've painted it, so as I can get paint inside the holes and all that, you know. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the VIN plate on now, and then I'll show you where you're on. That's the first bit of the car that's going. That's the first bit. So I get it right. That's the first bit of the car that's going back on. So I'll put that on now. I don't have a bonnet catch, so I can't put the bonnet up. So I'll have to do it off camera. It's on. So we're on now, and that's been off for a good number of years. So first bit on the car, and it was like that when I took it off. It was that way. I don't know whether people put them other way or what, but that's how it was when I took it off. So hopefully I've got it on it right spot. Not in right spot, but in right way around. So I'm catching my bonnet, it's scuttle panel there with bonnet. I better not lift it up too many times. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode when I'll be doing some repairs and getting some eye build on it. Thanks, cheers.